I'm Dr. Dave Sanders, founder of Moza. Welcome to our Founder Talk event here with Dr. Sara Gillham, my co-founder. And today we'll be talking about just rolling up our sleeves and just making a self-care experiment, aka SelfExs. So Sara, over to you. Will you walk us through it and let's get going?
Yes, and actually, Dave will be having you make an experiment. So this will be Dave's first self-care experiment also. So I'm sure he'll be asking a lot of the same questions that anybody else might have as they're going through this process. So Dave, if you can go ahead and pull up Moza on your phone and share that with us, we'll get started.
Here we go.
I can give a little bit of an intro to what it means to create a self-care experiment and where a self-care experiment might come from. And the idea for a self-care experiment can really come from anywhere. It can be something that your doctor or chiropractor or acupuncturist recommends, and you want to plug it in and actually measure it and track it and see if it's working for you. It can be something that comes from a news article that you read or a research article or something a friend mentions that works for them that you're curious to try. It can really come from anywhere. And putting that self-care experiment into Moza is your way to really validate and deeply understand whether or not it does or does not work for you. And then you can start building your stack of solutions, that list of things that you always know work for you that you can come back to, and that list of things that you know does not work for you and it's not worth putting your time, energy, or money into.
Cool. That sounds great. Okay, so I have my Moza open. Is my screen being shared still?
It is. Yep, that looks great.
Okay. Great.
Okay, fantastic. So this being our home screen on our Moza page, at the bottom there, since you're on mobile, you have your little navigation bar, and that bright green yellow button in the middle is your creation hub. That is where you can make our two different types of things from, either a video post if you're just sharing about your process and the self-experiment that you're running, or creating the actual self-experiment itself. So we'll start there and click on that green button. Excellent, great. So there are two different options, the video post or the self-care experiment. We'll choose the self-care experiment at the bottom there. Great. So now we are in the create self-care experiment flow, and there are 6 steps in this flow. We've tried to make them as easy as possible. And they range from just simply naming it to deciding when and whether other people get to join you, to choosing your data package. And the data package is something that people frequently get a little bit nervous about. Are they going to have to come up with the ways to measure things? Do they need to know what questions to ask? That type of thing. No, you don't. We have data packages that are pre-made in here that use your biometric data from your wearable device and use standardized questionnaires to help measure whether or not things work for you. In the future, we'll likely have the ability for people to add more customized data packages, but for right now, we've made it really simple. You just select the data package you want to use and you're good to go. So cool. Starting from the very beginning, Dave, in that point of coming up with an idea for something that you're interested in testing, is there something already on your mind that you're curious about?
Well, Sara, one of the things that interests me a lot is I'm like many of you, my brain is everything. It's kind of how I experience the world, how I get stuff done. And I'm a morning person, and I'm trying to improve kind of the back half of my day. And it's funny that a while ago, I think actually in this video right here, you talk about standing on your head in the 6 steps. But I've actually been thinking about trying to develop like a routine in the afternoon that really kind of gives me some oomph without doing caffeine, So I've been thinking about some combination of like some nutrient elements, some stand in my head, something like that, and some movement. So yeah, I think I've got something in mind. I think we can go for it today.
Okay, fantastic, great. So let's go ahead and click the Get Started button at the bottom there.
Okay.
And a note as other people are going through this, at the top of every page is a little like 1 to 3 minute video that explains each element of that page. So we'll talk through it here, but when people are going through it themselves later, all the same information is available to them on the spot. Okay, so starting with the very first thing, just what is the question that you're asking? What's the question that has inspired the self-care experiment, Dave?
Yeah. So my question, you can maybe help me refine this one, Sarah, if you could. But my question is will a 2-minute movement, intensive or moderate movement exercise in the mid-afternoon give me an afternoon lift without a caffeine-free afternoon lift kind of thing, a mental lift? Let's maybe I can try to say it a little more succinctly. Will a 2-minute moderate intensive exercise drill give me a intellectual boost, a caffeine-free intellectual boost in the afternoon?
Great. And when you say a moderate intensity movement, what exactly are you doing? Is there something specific that you're going to test there?
Yeah, I know that. I know I need to get to one. Like, I don't want to do like a full-on hit thing. I was thinking a little more like a little bit less than that, you know. So I was thinking more along the lines of something like, you know, a headstand, some push-ups, something kind of like a little bit less intensive, but kind of gets my heart pumping a little, kind of like a heart pumper, but not like a all-out sweating, pouring down kind of thing. Maybe something even just like, you know, something the equivalent of doing like, you know, 25 push-ups, you know.
That could be a great place to start. And actually, if you wanted to throw an inversion in there also, doing a 10-second headstand and 25 push-ups, something like that might be interesting.
That's my cup of tea. Let's do a 10-second, you know, that you said 10-second or so inversion plus 25 push-ups at 2 p.m. every day in lieu of a caffeine boost.
Excellent. So the question that's inspiring it is really the name of the SelfExs. So we'll go ahead and put that in here.
Okay, so
probably something like, will an afternoon headstand and push-ups give me a brain boost? Something like that.
Okay, so I write that right here. Will an afternoon
little dog.
Inversion and push-up routine. Is that right?
Yeah.
Give me, oh my gosh, an afternoon boost. How's that?
Excellent. You'll probably want to swap the second afternoon for brain boost, but great thing is you can come back and edit this anytime and you'll get to see a preview of it at the end and make any adjustments you'd like.
Great. Okay, good.
Perfect. And then we have the start date. And the important thing to remember here is the start date is the date that other people can join. This is not your start date. You can start anytime after you've published it. This is just if you'd like a head start before other people join your self-experiment, you can put in the date for them to follow you.
Okay, so let's just say the 12th, which is Monday. So we'll say, let's see. So we'll say 12/20/22.
And that means that you are committing to actually start running the experiment yourself before then. Because you always want to be the first person through it.
Yeah.
So if there are any kinks, you catch those first and can sort them out.
Yeah, I think I'll just do it tomorrow. Start tomorrow. Why not, right?
Perfect. Great.
Okay. Choose some options. Which questions fit? Definitely brain, definitely energy, right? That's probably pretty good, right? Brain energy.
Yeah. Is there one around fitness in there also?
Yeah, there is. Fitness.
Might go in there too.
Okay.
Great. It should be set as a shared SelfExs already. So most SelfExs we do want to share. We want to do them with other people for collaboration and commiseration and accountability. And so it's preset to shared, but you can make it private if it's something you want to run totally solo.
Cool. I'm up for shared.
Great. Okay, excellent. Supplies. Yes. So we've got 2 different types of supplies that can be part of a self-care experiment. We have a catalog of more than 13,000 different products that people can select from on Moza to make it really easy to just sign up for a SelfEx, order the supplies, have it all be seamless. But we know that there are supplies that aren't available on Moza, for example, a lot of fitness equipment and books, apps, that type of thing. So you can also put in, actually manually enter yourself, external supplies if there are any that are needed. So for your experiment, Dave, are there any supplies other than your wearable device that would be required?
No.
Okay, that one's easy. If you were to need supplies, though, you would just go ahead and click the add supply and enter in the information for it. So
I click it for a second just so it shows up. Okay. So I search the catalog. Oh, nice. I could just type in something like, I'll just say vitamin, just to see, vitamins come up. Cool. Nice. And
if you want to select on one, Dave, then we can see what that looks like.
okay, I'll do vitamin, and I'll go back later afterwards and just fix that then. There it is. Oh, that's nice. Okay, well, I can
you can see exactly what the product is. Make sure you've got the right one.
Yeah, and that'll be just shipped to me, and at the end of this, I'll purchase that and it'll ship to me just like any other online store, right?
Yep. When you go through the process of actually starting your self-experiment, you'll be able to purchase it then. Right now, this is just for setting up the experiment, so you're not committing to buying it at this point.
Okay, great. And then it also says here, you'll receive 10% of any sales for your SelfEx. So that's me. If someone watching this and running this with me, if they join my experiment and then they buy this, then then I would get 10%. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
Cool.
Anybody who joins through your self-care experiment will get a portion of those sales.
Perfect. Should I delete this now? Just for right now?
Yep, that would be good.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. So yours is easy, no supplies needed, but if you needed them, that's what it would look like. Let's go ahead on to the next page. Step 3. So step 3 is the trailer video. And there are 2 different videos that are needed to really set up a self-care experiment. There's the trailer, which gives people an overview of what the experiment is all about. So that's typically introducing yourself, introducing the problem you're trying to solve, introducing why you think the experiment you're trying might be helpful for this, and then any other information that you feel is helpful to share. Some people really love sharing, the science of it. Some people really love sharing the lived experience of it. This is where you get some artistic expression in really how you tell your story. These are typically pretty quick, in the range of 30 seconds to 3 minutes. And you can either just shoot it live with your phone, click the button and shoot, or you can create a more polished video and upload it later.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll work since your camera's already being used.
Probably not. You're right about that. That's right. Well, let's see here. Oh, it's going the other way.
Oh, great.
There it is.
Both cameras can go.
Then folks actually doing my trailer while doing our event. And so the idea is we're going to do a 25 push-ups at a 10-second headstand. The idea is to see if we can make that perform better than an afternoon caffeine boost to keep my brain going. So kind of here's the spirit of it. I'm just going to see how well it works. Oh, okay. I think it has some potential. Will it work for me? Will it work for you? We're going to find out here. Join me in my SelfEx. And there we are.
Yep, so it is uploading now. Since you are uploading and using video, it might take a little while, and it's perfectly fine to progress through this flow while that's loading. You won't lose it.
Oh, that's so great.
Yes, and so when you're all done, you might want to come back and check this out to make sure that the thumbnail photo that it pre-selected for you is the one you want to use. If you don't like it, you can swipe through those. So if you scroll up just a little bit, you'll see where it says loading and change image. Yeah, so where it says loading there, it's too small on my screen to see what that says. Oh, edit image, I think.
It's been loaded. It says edit cover. Yeah.
Yeah, edit cover. So when you come back and the video is all loaded, it'll have pre-selected a thumbnail image, and you can hit that edit cover button if you want to change that image.
Okay. But it will give me like its best effort at making a little cover for me. Is that right?
It will. It will. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Nice.
So we'll let that load, and we'll go ahead and get on to step 4.
This is great. I'm loving making this SelfEx with you, Sarah.
Wonderful. Okay, so step 4, if you want to scroll to the top, Dave, is the formula section. This is the second of 2 videos that are needed. And in addition to making your little video defining the formula, you'll write a brief summary of it. The brief summary shows up on essentially the product page for the self-care experiment, where people get an idea of what it's all about. So it does just need to be really kind of brief, bullet point, let them know what they're getting themselves into and how complex it is. And then the video is the next level down. The video gets into very specific detail around what exactly they're going to need to do and when exactly they're going to need to do it. It is the step-by-step instructions.
I see it. Okay. So we'll just do a quick, I'll come back here and I'll polish it. I'll just say, I'm going to say something like, bullet points. Very helpful, right? Every day for 7 consecutive days. Stop at 2 p.m. and do 25 push-ups and 10-second hand or headstand, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You might want to consider modifications for people who aren't able to do a full hand or headstand. Like, can they hang their head over the side of the bed or a chair or something like that?
Yeah. So I'll come back later, and that's such a smart thing to say. I will do that, and I'll add those in my next piece, right?
Perfect.
And now I'll do the formula video, right?
Yes, but before we get there, thinking through then, exactly what needs to happen, the highlights of what people need, how they're going to do it, that bullet point list. You might also want to go back and add to the supplies something like setting an afternoon timer. So if there's a timer app that you really like, or just recommend even using their phone timer and putting in an image of a timer so that they know that that's the main supply they need. They need to set the timer for 2 p.m. every day.
Love it. And as I'm doing this, the thought of like me doing it is really great. The thought of others somehow being helped by this or somehow doing along with me is actually pretty damn exciting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really fun to compare notes on these types of things because everybody has different experiences with it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now should I press the create or upload formula video?
Yeah, go for it.
The main points were, Sarah, were just to add modifications and then also kind of maybe like set a timer or, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, going back to the supply section later and adding a timer as a supply. That would be an external supply.
Okay. And a timer, or you just you could put, if you want to watch, you could put your watch on your phone, right? One of the, you don't have as well. Okay, cool. Yep. Create or upload. Okay, so before I hit this piece here though, I'm gonna hit this. And now, why don't you give me just a few pointers now on what I'm going to do with this formula video?
Yeah, so the formula video needs to be entirely focused on the formula and the detailed instructions on exactly how you're going to do this. So, for example, first thing you need to do is make sure that you've got a timer set for every day at 2 o'clock. You have it on your calendar, whatever it might be, so that you're set up for success and actually getting to doing it. The second thing might be that you need to plan ahead to think about how and where you're going to be doing your headstand or your handstand. Like, is there a certain wall you need available? Can you do it while you're out running errands? Do you need to make sure that you're in a certain place? Do you need to make sure you have any certain equipment available? Making sure to wear your device while you're doing the exercises. Any other little elements that would just make it much more likely that you're going to be successful in actually adhering to the plan to test it out.
Cool. Okay. Okay, I'll do my best here. And we'll go ahead and try this. And I hit that. I hit camera video. And I'm going to hit this. Well, I got to change that. That's not right. I got to reverse this thing. Now I got to reverse this thing. And then I'm going to say, okay, hi, this is Dave, and this is my SelfExs called Will an inversion and 25 push-up routine every single day for 7 days at 2 p.m. give me a brain boost superior to caffeine. So what that means is every single day, I will have set my timer, either a specific timer, or I'll use my watch or my phone to set it probably like 5 to 2, and to make sure I have a good time space to kind of break away. The space specifically set up to do it in my house. If I'm out in the road, I'll kind of know where I need to get to. And I'm going to go and I'm going to do it. And basically, I'm going to do this. And after you guys we'll see. You can't see me, that's okay. I'm just going to do it anyways. You can imagine that I'm doing it with you here. I'm doing it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25. And now, let go of my head. Here I go. Oh. Here I go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Get it. Down 1 day. I learned the exact same thing for just 7 consecutive days at 2 p.m. You got it? Cool. What do you think, Sarah?
Excellent. And if you have any tips on form, how to do a good handstand, how to do a good headstand, how to do good push-ups without hurting yourself, if you have that information in your head and you can share it, awesome. If you don't, that's totally fine. Whatever your level of knowledge is, though, just share that.
As always, great insights. Cool. Not top of my head, but as you know, that's really important information too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, as we continue to think through it and how to make it easier for people, there are other supplies that you might put in also. Like there are those shoulder stand assist platform things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Sure.
Like that type of thing might be helpful. Putting links to any kind of headstand video tutorials might be helpful, because you can put links and videos and audio in those external supplies also. But there's tutorials on how to do that well.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Perfect. Okay, so same with this video. It'll keep loading in the background. We can go ahead and get on to the next step here. Okay. Now I'm being blinded by my phone. So I think are we on the data? Yes, we're on the data. Okay, perfect. So this is where we choose our data package, and this is how we measure the effect of the formula that we're using. And we're working on creating lots of different ways to measure. Right now, we have a system where we can use, again, our biometric data from our wearable plus a questionnaire, and we compare the effects before and after running the intervention. So since that's the one that's active there, you can go ahead and select that, Dave.
Okay, selected.
Perfect. And then, yep, if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll then be able to select what you're measuring. So if you want to choose that drop down, do you want to tell us what options are available there?
Okay, so data packages say anxiety, brain fog, depression, energy, memory, sleep, stress.
Excellent. And you've got an extra one in there because you're an administrator, so you get some test ones.
Yeah.
But yep, so I assume that you're going to be looking at either brain fog or energy.
What do you think's a better fit for this one, Sarah?
Well, what are your afternoon symptoms? What are you really trying to boost?
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, it is a bit of like an afternoon syndrome. It isn't just like one thing. I definitely have a little bit of energy slump, but also a mental energy stamina and like a less of a focus and less of a, because I'm really kind of mind focused. But it's like an energy and a bit of mental. So I wonder if like brain fog is like a good kind of like a good match for that. I think. I wonder.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it would be.
Okay. It is kind of like a cyclical, brain fog thing. That's cool. Okay, got that. I'm gonna click that. Okay.
Perfect. And then, go ahead.
No, perfect. Go ahead.
So you'll see there when you select the data package that you like, it tells you what type of data is going to be used in there. So I think for brain fog on the biometric side, we have heart rate variability and resting heart rate. And then we have a brain fog quiz that, again, is used at the beginning and the end. And then there are 3 fields down below to fill in. And this is just choosing the time frame to measure before and after and the time frame for the formula. So I think, Dave, you said your formula you were going to run for 2 weeks?
I would just say I was going to try this for 7 consecutive days. What I said.
7 days. Okay, great. So in the formula one, you'll put in the 7 days. And since it's only a 7-day experiment, you probably don't need a very long period for that pre and post data collection. So you're probably going to be in the range of 1, 2, 3 days on that.
I'll do 2, right in the middle.
Excellent. And for a lot of SelfExs are coming in at around the 2-week mark, 2 weeks to 3, 4 weeks. And with those, 3 days at the beginning, 3 days at the end is the most common. For some longer SelfExs, sometimes you want a longer time frame to test that beginning and end data, like 7 days. For a lot of self-experiments with people who have a menstrual cycle, those are going to be well done in 30-day increments to compare the exact same time frame before and after, or 28-day increments depending on where people fall. So a couple of different things to consider as you're choosing those before and after time frame.
Cool. Okay. So
you've got
post a number of days post.
That's
it. I think I'll just pick 2 days there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have pressed the next button, but didn't mean to, but I did. So now we're on to step 6. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. So that wasn't too hard. Choosing the data package is just choosing, what you want to measure: brain fog, anxiety, depression, whatever that might be. Choosing how many days to measure at the beginning, how many days to measure at the end, and how long you want to run the formula. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But that being said, it can still be confusing. So if you do have questions as you're going through it, there's the little green chat button down there that you can always chat, and we will help you.
Got it.
Okay, so now we are on to tasks. This is the last step in the process here. And the tasks here, there's 2 purposes for the tasks. These are reminders of anything you might need to do along the way. And they also serve to let you know at the end, when you get your answer, how well you are able to adhere to your formula. Because formulas can be successful or fail because the formula itself was good or bad, but it can also be because it just was or wasn't the right formula for you. If you're not able to do something, even if it's something that would typically work, then it's not going to work for you, right? So this helps us track how well you're able to adhere to that formula, so you can decide whether or not that kind of formula is good for you.
Makes sense.
Great. So if you want to go ahead and just put in, afternoon headstand at 2 p.m., and then you'll select the button I think it says add all days.
Okay,
so do it every single day.
So I'll just say something like just at 2 p.m. every day. Is that right? Or just, this is just for daily. So I'll just say at 2 p.m. Right?
2 p.m. handstand and push-ups.
Okay. So it's as simple as that. Just 2 p.m. Handstand. push-ups. Just 10 seconds. Make it precise, right? 2 p.m. 25 push-ups. Oh, I did it backwards. Shoot, what am I doing? Okay, we'll fix it up. We'll fix it up later.
Yep, you can always come back and edit.
Cool. Okay.
And then you'll want to click the button that says add all days, the white button.
Yeah, 2 p.m. all days. Sweet.
So that means that this task will show up in your experiment runner each day, and each day you'll be able to check off whether or not you did it. And at the end, it'll let you know how many of the days you did it for, so you can really help evaluate whether, if it didn't work for you, if it didn't work because standing on your head doesn't work, or if it didn't work because you didn't actually do it.
Cool.
Excellent. So you'll go ahead to the next step, and that will just help you see what is complete and what's not. So right now, I think, is it the supplies that's blank there has a red X because you don't have any supplies. You don't have to have supplies to publish it. That's just letting you know that there aren't any supplies there. And then otherwise, you do have content in all the other fields. So technically, you could go ahead and publish now. You've got a little bit of editing to do, so you can come back and do that later. One thing to note is that once you've published, the self-experiment is locked. You actually cannot edit anything in it. And that's because if somebody joins your self-experiment and then things change about it, it's going to mess up their experiment. But if you realize that you published it, what was that?
So in that case, I'll do save and finish later.
Yes, exactly. But if you do publish a self-care experiment and then later you decide it's not quite what you want, you can easily create a duplicate of it and make edits in that new one.
Oh, it's so nice. That's great.
Yeah, so that's it. That is how you make a self-care experiment. You've got your first end draft, just needs a little cleanup, and you'll be able to start your experiment.
Great. And then, Sarah, just a refresher from last time, because I chose 2 days of data before I begin. So if I want to begin, when I say I'm going to begin tomorrow, what that really means is tomorrow I will press basically join my own experiment, and then Moza AI will see if I have enough data available, right? And if it's not, it'll ask me to then take some more time until I have enough data before I can start. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you don't have to have a device, even though the data package does use heart rate variability and resting heart rate, you don't have to have it. And when you get into the process, it'll just tell you that you don't have the baseline data, and that's fine. You don't need it. It'll give you the option to continue without it, and you'll be good to go.
Thanks. This was a great session. Anything else that you want to add kind of as a wrap up here, or any kind of final points about this?
I think just have fun with it. There's so many ideas out there of things that could work for what's going on with your body, and just try things out, test them out. And we're here to help with this, and can chat us or email us via the website anytime, and we'll help create SelfExs.
Yes. We founded ZoomCare, Sarah and I and Dr. DiPiero, because we believe that true health is a lifelong self-experiment. And so this is this work you're doing here today. This is, I think, a pathway to really, developing your own true health, and I think to sharing true health with others and with the world, and help others achieve their true health. So I think it's good for our own health. I think it's, as you said, let's make it fun. But also, I think it's our, for each of you doing this, I think it's your own little way also of helping others achieve their health potential.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Okay.
Thanks, Sarah. Great pleasure. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.